watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 2nd meeting for the Michigan City Board of Public Works and Safety. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good morning. I'll call to order this Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for Monday, June 2nd, 2025. The time is 8:30, and I'll call the roll. Mr. Simmons.
Present.
Ms. Tisdale is absent. Ms. Smith.
Present.
Ms. Moore.
Present.
Mr. York is here. Attorney LePage.
Present.
And Madam Clerk is here. Our first order of business today is approval of minutes from the regular hybrid Zoom meeting of May 19th, 2025. Has everyone had time to review those?
Motion to approve as
Second.
presented.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Our next order of business is approval of minutes from a special meeting on March 31st, 2025. Has everyone had time to look at those minutes?
Motion to approve. Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next on our agenda, we have personnel. We have amendment to the managed transplant. Excuse me, I'm getting tongue-tied. Amendment to the managed transplant program policy, change of date from January 1st, 2025 through December 31st of 2025 to January 1st of 2025 through September 30th of 2025. Is there anyone here to speak to this agenda item? I thought you might be. Can you just tell us a little bit about it? I think we've done it before, but I think there's just a change in the date. So if you can just go through it in a nutshell, what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
of course. So you guys already have this policy. It's active. There's no changes to the policy itself. We're simply just trying to sync it up with the rest of the benefits policies, just to make sure everything gets put into the budget.
Excellent. Any questions of the board? Any questions? I believe we did this a few months ago, and what we're doing is just changing the date to reflect this. So I'll open up. You have a question? Go ahead. Oh, no? Okay. I'll open up for public comment. Any public comment on this item? Any public comment? Any public comment? Okay, I'm closed public comment. Any questions, or do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you for being here and presenting this. Next on the agenda is a memorandum of understanding. A memorandum of understanding between the City of Michigan City and the Indiana Plan for Equal Employment through August 31st, 2025, and should not exceed the amount of $7,975.00. Good morning, Mayor.
Good morning. Good morning. We're gonna remove this from the agenda. We're gonna push the date out until October, sometime in October, but we're gonna work through some things. The Indiana Plan is a program that allows us a gateway into the apprenticeship programs. It's something that most of the unions support, but we needed a little bit more time. So this year, our goal is to have 12 Michigan City residents participate in it, but they get hands-on. It's a 2-week in-classroom training that we will host here at City Hall, and then 1 week online, and they'll get their OSHA and some other things. But we have a few logistics to work out, and we're working on a couple of sponsorships. So we're going to push it out because the time frame is too quick. So we're looking at an October date for that.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions? Any questions of the board? Yes, please.
Just to speak to what the mayor's saying, though, the city does have funds available from our workers training fund.
Yes. So there was a fund that was established some years ago with the hiring ordinance, so that anytime a contractor is fined, that money would go in there. So there's been about $11,000-12,000 sitting in there since my husband was the director. So he found a few contractors and the money's been sitting there for a decade now. So we're going to use it.
Used. Waiting to be used.
Yes.
Got it. Alrighty. Okay, so do we need an official vote to remove this?
No.
Okay. We'll just wait for it to come back in October. Thank you, Mayor. Next on our agenda is a request to move city-owned sculptures. The Michigan City Public Art Committee is requesting to move city-owned sculptures DWL and Pussycat from the Westcott Park to the northwest corner of Franklin Street and 8th Street for higher visibility. Shannon, the floor is
Good
yours.
morning, Shannon Eason. I'm the treasurer of the Michigan City Public Art Committee. We purchased this sculpture back in 2017 and it's been at Westcott Park since the purchase. But we'd like to move it to 9th and Franklin Street. Once the leased sculpture that's there currently is removed, which will be 2 to 3 weeks, just for higher visibility. It's kind of hidden back in Westcott Park. Hard to see if you're driving, if you're walking, it's visible, but just to enhance the Uptown Arts District. We do have money in our budget, so I think that was included in the request. And the artist currently has the sculpture. He's repainting it for us and he would be the one that installs it.
Are both of the sculptures going on 9th Street? DWL and Pussycat?
It's one sculpture.
Oh, one sculpture. Got
Owl
it.
and Pussycat.
Owl and Pussy. Oh, okay. Owl. That's what I was like. Okay. Owl and Pussy. Okay. Got it. I was confused there for a minute. Got it. Any questions, Ms. Eason? Yes, go ahead.
Shannon, will anything go into Westcott Park? Like any other sculptures replace what's being moved?
Not currently. I mean, it's possible in our next round, which would be 2026. But if we do put something in, it's going to be closer to the roadside, so it's visible.
Got it. Any other questions from Ms. Eason? Hearing none, I'll open up for public comment. Any public comment on this item? Any public comment? Any public comment? Okay, I'll close public comment. Any other questions, or can we entertain a motion, get them moved?
Motion to approve.
Support.
I'll call for the roll. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
I love the color.
Chair votes aye as well. It is a great color on that one. Okay. Next order of business is a change of duty shirts. The Michigan City Fire Department is requesting the approval of 2 change of duty shirts. First one is 2025 Patriotic Parade shirts to be worn from July 1st, 2025 through July 31st, 2025. And the second one is shirts for the dive team to be worn as their duty shirts from April 1st, 2025 through October 31st, 2025. Chief, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
Good.
As you know, 2 or 3, sometimes 4 times a year, we'll try to do a special shirt, sometimes for charity, sometimes whatever. And we'll ask to wear that for a specific month. Usually every year we'll do a patriotic shirt for the month of July. We'll wear for like the parade, and then we'll wear for the full month of July. And that's what the patriotic shirt will be for. I think you guys all have a copy, correct?
Yes.
That's all we're asking for on that. It wasn't done for charity or anything like that. It's just done for us. We want to wear it for the patriotic parade and then for the month of July. So
Excellent. Any questions of Chief?
I appreciate you coming before the board, but question for council, is it necessary that they appear before the board?
It is because it's in the union contract, I believe.
it's just one of those things that's been in the contract. The reason, I don't know. It's been that way since I've been on the job.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah, it's a minor change. I see where the issue, it's like, why do I have to come just for a t-shirt change for the month? What the contract states. So
Sure.
that's why I'm here.
I mean, we appreciate you appearing before the board, but
Well, thank you for having me.
I guess it is a way to show off your cool shirts and designs. So
We try once in a while. We do all right once in a while. with it.
any other further questions of Chief? Okay, let me open up for public comment. Any public comments on this item? Any public comments? Anyone got any comments? Any public comments? Anything online? Okay, I'll close public comments. Any other further questions for Chief, or do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
support.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Moore, Or I'm sorry, Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Chief, for being here. Sorry about that. I'm trying to keep you on your toes. All right. Our next order of business is a request for a trade-in. The Michigan City Police Department. Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
had a second shirt.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay. We didn't do them both. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, we
Sorry
only
about
spoke
that.
about the one. The other one is for the dive team. Being proud of what they do. They like going out and showing what they could do.
Sure.
We don't really have anything for them to like make them stand out. So they had approached me along with the union president and asked if they could come up with a shirt. And we didn't have a problem with what they came up with. So as you guys, I believe, have a copy of that as well. We're asking for that to be a yearly thing, but we're only going to have them be able to wear it from April 1st to October 31st. So essentially what would be considered our short sleeve season.
Sure.
So that's why we're asking, just something for them to stand out a little bit throughout the season, so to speak. And that's pretty much it.
That's great. No, celebrate that they're kind of on the dive team and different, or a little bit more
Right.
different than the
Right,
rest.
let them
If you,
stand out a little bit.
yeah,
and,
I get that.
Yeah.
Any questions of Chief on the dive shirt? I like that one too.
How many individuals are on the
Yeah,
dive
great.
team?
It's a good question. I believe we got somewhere around full-fledged divers. I think we have about 17 or
Oh, wow.
so, something like that. I don't have the exact numbers because it kind of fluctuates here and there. Got some people want to get out, some people want to get on. But we have somewhere about 17 to 20 full-time, full-fledged divers, fully certified.
These are our dive team that gets called out as if people get missing and things of that nature too. So yeah, just for public knowledge. Any other question of Chief? I'm sorry, Chief. I tried to
No, that's
just get you out of here quick.
that's cool.
I'll open up for public comments. Any public comments on the dive team shirt? Any public comments on the dive team shirt? Okay, hearing none, I'll close public comments. Any further questions of Chief, or do I hear a motion to get his dive team shirts approved?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Chief. Sorry to.
No, that's
Overlook.
okay. I'm here all day.
You're okay. Thank you, Chief. Okay, now moving on. Our next order of business is a request for trade-in. The Michigan City Police Department is requesting to trade in 6 bicycles to Bike Stop Cycling for a total amount of $600, $100 per bike, to obtain in-store credit to be used for the upkeep and outfitting of the Michigan City Bicycle Patrol Program. Good morning, Captain.
Morning.
Tell us a little bit about I think 2 things. Bicycle patrol would be interesting to know about, and maybe just tell us what you're doing.
All right. For the bicycle patrol, we have about 10 officers, including myself, that are interested in riding. We have, obviously now with the Durangos, some vehicles have trailer hitches on them. So we have bike racks that we can use on patrol, and we take them out patrolling certain neighborhoods, and you don't have to just ride from the station. You can actually take it to all parts of town, and then when you have calls for service, you can jump on back into your car, put the bike on the rack, and head out, and they're sturdy enough to respond in the lights and sirens, and nothing's gonna, the bikes aren't gonna get damaged. So we have those for special events, random patrols. We do the escorts with the park department when they do their Bike the City events. So that's the actual patrol bicycle
Thanks.
side of things. The fitness bikes were used for the fitness test that we would take twice a year. Once COVID hit, we started doing it to where instead of requiring officers to come in at certain times during the day to actually do the test, you could do it in our gym or other gyms as well. With it, you could either do a 2-mile bike ride or a mile run. I think more people are actually running as well. So these bikes haven't really been used since COVID. So with Trina at Bike Stop, we're able to trade those in and use that for equipment for the bike patrol. Get new helmets. Those helmets are 8 years old or so that we're currently using. So roll that money over and continue the bike patrol program.
Excellent. Any questions of Captain Jesse? Any questions from the board? Mr. Simmons?
Public comment. Public comment.
I'll open it up for public comment. Yeah, I can open it up for public comment. Any public comments on this item? Any public comments? All right, hearing no public comments, I'll close public comments. Any further questions of Mr. Jessup or Captain or?
Statement.
Yep.
This program is great. It's also a great program for community policing. It connects the department with the community.
I agree. That's why I wanted to tell a little bit. I don't think people know we have bike patrols, but we do.
I was wondering, was it new?
No, it's better. Yeah, I see you guys riding downtown sometimes and things of that nature. So, any further questions of Captain Jesse? Or entertain a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
All right. Next item is a transfer of equipment. The Michigan City Police Department is requesting to transfer ownership of a retrofitted trailer that can no longer function for services of MCPD to the Michigan City Parks Department for their repair and use of summer activity or summer duties. Got it. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, and then it's just seems like you're just transferring a piece of equipment between departments. Yeah.
Yes. It used to be a radar trailer. I think it was model year like 2000. So once it was no longer being able to be used as a radar trailer, and we bought a new one. It was taken apart, and we actually used it as a traffic cone trailer for down at the park and stuff. But with the weight of all of the cones, it ended up breaking, and it's not actually fixable for us to continue using all that weight. And I believe the Parks Department has some sort of use for it in the in their daily, I think, trash collection or something, where it's not gonna, if they fix it, it's the weight is not gonna be as much as a, fully loaded with traffic cone. So
Sure.
just wanting to turn it over to them so it could still be utilized.
Excellent. Pat, you guys are good with that? Shannon? Good? Cool. All right. Any questions of Captain? Any questions? Seems pretty simple. Okay, I'll open up for public comment. Any public comments? Any public comments? Any public comments on item? Okay, close public comments. Do I hear a motion? I'll make a motion. A motion to transfer the Michigan City Police Department to transfer ownership of their traffic cone trailer to the Michigan City Parks Department for their use and operation.
Support.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you, Captain.
Thank you.
Our next order of business is a mobile food vendor license request. Briasia Walker, fire truck number 5, is requesting the approval of a mobile food vendor license for 1 year. Her truck will be conducting business at 1801 Franklin Street. I do believe we have our planning director here this morning. Good morning, Dr. Edwards.
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
Good.
Yes. So Ms. Walker requested to establish her mobile food truck at 1801. Unfortunately, our staff determined that that site was not feasible due to our general location requirements under section 26-30, section B. So we did have we did communicate with Mr. Walker, who is also supporting her in her business venture. And we had a great conversation for some alternative options for her to operate elsewhere in regards to our food truck in the parks program. And so we did find out that she was already participating, but staff wanted to to recommend a continuance for this while we explore some other opportunities and locations for Ms. Walker to operate.
I do believe they have a few other options they're looking at too, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Ms. LePage, would we motion to table this to or motion to continue?
Well, that is, you would
Same?
table it. It's, yeah, essentially the same.
Okay.
Just table it. I don't believe their certificate of insurance is correct yet either.
Okay.
So just to note that for the record.
So we could table this and then we could also get back with them and tell them that they need to get their insurance should they choose another location, or if they just stick with the parks, food trucks in the parks. I guess it just depends.
Okay.
Hold on, let me open it up for public. Any public comment on this item? Any public comments?
Yes, this is Tommy Kolovic from 1316 Ohio Street. So like I said the last time with Mo, I'd like for one of these food truck operators to consider maybe opening up a location on the west side. We all know how much the west side is a food the west side of Michigan City, I find it probably be the most underserved section of any city in northwest Indiana. And that even includes Gary. There lack of commerce there. It's been that way for a long time. We have an outdated zoning map on there. It probably goes back to the 1950s. So, the general public would love to have a place to go get something to eat over on that side of the city. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other public comments? I'll close public comments. You've heard the recommendation from our planning director. How would the
Motion to a table, pending, proper requirements as well.
location certificate of insurance, next meeting? That's what.
Yes.
Okay. Is that,
Second.
I'll call for the vote, Mr. Simmons,
Aye.
Miss Smith,
Aye.
Miss Muller.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. So we'll have that come back at our next meeting. And in the meantime, we'll get a hold to fire truck number 5 and let them know about their certificate of insurance and when their next meeting is, and then see if they've chose a different location or another location. Okay. The next order of business is a request for parking space. Dennis and Jean Guzman of 1101 Pine Street are requesting one parking space at 1101 Pine Street for their tenant to park on the street. City Engineer Werner, I know that I think you've looked at this one.
Yeah, this area right in front of 1101 Pine Street is about 18 feet from where NIPSCO has a new utility pole to the adjacent property. About half of that property now currently in our right of way has a pole height curb and sidewalk behind that utility pole. There's some modifications there. I just met the requesters here on my way in. I'm going to get together with them after this meeting and go over some options for them and see what we can come up with.
Mr. Guzman, I'm going to give you your time though. Let's hear what the issue is. Just tell us a little bit about what's going on.
My name is Dennis. My wife is Gina Guzman. We've been at that property for 28 years. We're having a problem with parking there since the South Shore presented itself with a new building and a wall and other things. I have pictures to describe where I would like to possibly have parking for just one permit for the tenant that lives at that particular location at 1101 Pine Street.
Show me the pictures.
Yeah, you can. Do you have other pictures than what was submitted? We do have
And I present.
we have your packet. You could, if you don't mind, if you'll hand them to Attorney LePage, and she will pass it down. Any other questions of the Guzmans or of our city engineer?
No, the only question I
Mr.
had,
Oh, I'm so sorry, Mr.
only
Simmons. Go
question
ahead.
I had was the utility pole on this original photo that was presented. And the curbing.
Yeah, that's during construction, and I know they took that intersection out. And then this is, I think, the rebuilt, if I'm not mistaken, is Mr. Warner. This is the rebuilt curb. Yeah. So this is what you have there now. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions of the Guzmans or of city engineer? All right, I'm going to open up for public comment and then see where we go. Public comment on this item.
Yeah, Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. Unfortunately, we don't do reserved parking for residents or tenants or business customer only. If you do that, you're going to open up Pandora's box for every resident and business to have their reserved space for on-street parking. And I know it's bad. There's the vacant lot 11th in Ohio. All the residents are parking on the vacant lot. You're not supposed to park on the ground. I'm thinking about buying that lot when it goes up on the tax sale in October. I think this needs to be denied. Thank you.
Any other public comments? Any other public comments on this item? Any other public comments? I'll close
Well,
public comments.
it could still be accomplished. It's just like anywhere else. It wouldn't be private parking, first come, first serve. I mean, that's the way it is.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like, Mr. Warner, if I might, you've already looked at this. You have some ideas, some already options.
The area in front of their property there along Pine could be leveled for a parking surface, remove the curb, pull it back right against that utility pole, and it'll give you about an 18-foot space. Normal driveways are 10 to 12 feet wide,
Yeah,
and those are just kind of by use or no parking areas. You can't park in front of somebody's driveway. This really wouldn't be a driveway, but it would be the only space in the area for this property to be able to park close by. The vehicle maintenance facility just to the south of that, they are parking over the sidewalk all the time. There's an issue there that needs to be corrected. From, in my perspective, that needs to be disallowed as well. So, but as soon as we build this space, they're going to be pulling their vehicles into it.
Yeah.
You know,
so it sounds like it's a twofold enforcement, but also, like Mr. Simmons says, we can provide more spaces. We just don't issue parking permits. That's what we don't do.
So it's really the board's call if we want to make this a private parking space for 1101. But again, like was mentioned, that opens up Pandora's box.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm in favor of a private parking space, but I don't want to get into that. The only private parking spacing we do is for handicap parking. I do believe we do that, which makes sense. What's the pleasure of the board? We've already had our public comments. Do you guys want to have Mr. Warner look at this a little bit more? Come back with a suggestion or basically just kind of closing the loop on this? Okay. Sounds like I'm hearing over here that they want you to kind of take a look at it, work with the Guzmans, see if there's any options on this. I'll let you talk. Yeah. Come on back up here.
We have an issue with, there's a business next to us that keeps parking. And due to the fact they keep a car parked there 24/7. We were there since 1992. We've always got along with our neighbors. I made a suggestion to our neighbors to, we respect if they need it during the day, we would park there at night, and then when they weren't in business and we couldn't get along. So we wouldn't even ask for the parking permit. Another thing was an option of us is to yellow it out that nobody could park there. I don't want to do that. We're not that kind of people. We want it to be open and have a parking and just a permit so that we paid taxes for all these years. We just want to be able to, we had a business there for many years, the Hair Studio New York. We got along with people, we're able to park there for business, and now it's an issue.
Got it. So I'm going to try.
It's kind of a unique situation, not up and down, up. It doesn't have to be a Pandora's box.
So I'm going to have I'm gonna make a motion that we table this till our next meeting. Give Mr. Warner, is that enough time, Mr. Warner, or Engineer Warner? Okay. I'm gonna motion that we table this to our next meeting, give an engineer and refer it to Engineer Warner for his look at this and then report back to us on if there's options or what can be done, if anything. That's my motion.
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Miss Smith.
Aye.
Miss Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Our next order of business is a request for traffic. Chad Norman, 2208 Normandy Drive, is requesting either a stop sign, yield sign, or don't block business sign at the entrance of the gas station on Cleveland Ave, just north of Paz Road, due to cars backing up on both Cleveland Ave and Paz Road. Good morning.
Hi, my name's Chad. This is a small request or an idea. There is a sign that says do not block the driveway, but the sign is up high as you're approaching Cleveland Avenue. The sign kind of, if you're in a car, the sign kind of blends into the sky. There's like a little area where it blends in the sky. So I don't know if people are not just seeing this or if they're just disregarding it altogether. I have no idea. But on the peak hours, you know, between school hours and letting out and all this other stuff, I mean, there's a line of traffic. I don't know why everybody chooses to come down Paul's Avenue, but I mean, you'd have like 10 to 15 cars just constantly coming one after the other. And I've come off of Cleveland and tried to turn. I live in the apartments right there. I've come off of Cleveland and I've wanted to stop at the gas station, you know, like turn in there. I know that they have a north side entrance, but the south side entrance is like blocked majority of the time when peak hours are going on. So it's not a big request. Maybe they can get some reflector around the sign or something that make it stand out would be better. I would prefer a stop sign, but I know the city probably won't want to do an extra stop sign. But I would just say probably put some reflector or lower the sign maybe, or put an extra sign lower for cars to see. Not a big deal. I just wanted to suggest.
Okay. Any questions of Chad? Any questions of Mr. Norman? Engineer Warner, have you looked at this one at all? Probably not. Yeah, haven't had time. Miss Moore, of course.
This is a general question. Is there a code in place right now for not blocking driveways? I know there are streets, but driveways into businesses, is there anything in place for that?
You're not supposed to park in front of them. I would look to Captain back in the back. What is there a rule, from a traffic standpoint?
I don't believe so regarding just temporary blocking. Now, again, if you park there, yes, you cannot block a driveway.
I mean, I try not to block if I see someone trying to pull out, try to help them out. But I think that's just maybe a conscious thing.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to other businesses as well. And I know right there, the driveway's right basically at the stop sign intersection anyways.
Yeah, it's real close to that intersection. Yeah. And it's a rather big driveway as well. Correct. Okay. Mr. Simmons, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
He mentioned that the signage was too high.
Yeah.
Well, could they lower the signage?
Blocking driveway sign there that's too high.
I think we'd have to have Mr. Warner go out and look at it from how tall does it have to be versus semi trucks, things like that. How tall is it right now? Can it come down?
And then some situations you have to wait for the flow of traffic to clear before that opening occurs.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Mr. Warner, do you want to go look at this? Do you have any thoughts on it? I'll bet you would. Yep. I can see it in your eyes. Yes. All right. All right. So sounds like we're going to refer this one to Mr. Warner too, to take a look at and maybe come back to us at our next meeting and see if there's anything that can be done there. I know that intersection is real close there, and short of rebuilding the whole intersection, like that's a undertaking. So maybe one day. So I'll open it for public comments. Any public comments on this item? Any public comments? Any public comments going once? All right, I'll close public comments. Any further questions or do I hear a motion?
Motion to refer to our city engineer and have them report back to this board, our next meeting on his findings.
Second.
I'll go over the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Miss Smith?
Aye.
Miss Moore?
Aye.
And chair votes aye as well. So we'll have Engineer Warner look at it and just kind of see if there's anything to do. Like I said, short of, I think if we rebuilt that intersection at some point in time in the near in the far future, we would not do it the same way. So
Appreciate it.
next order of business is an updated job description. The Human Resources Department is requesting the approval of the updated job description for the associate planner. Good morning.
We are requesting approval of the update of the associate planner job description. We've made a couple of changes. I'm not sure if you are aware of what the changes are, but I'll go over them if you would like me to. So one of the changes in there, it said that the incumbent serves as associate planner for planning and inspection, responsible for assisting the planning director and assistant planner. We no longer have an assistant planner, so we would like to replace assistant planner with building superintendent.
Excellent.
And then under job requirements, we have expanded the degree required for the position. It will state that baccalaureate or master's degree in urban planning, environmental science, community development, sustainable development, historic preservation, social work, or related fields with 1 to 3 years of professional experience. The prior job description just requested a baccalaureate degree with no explanation of what field it would be in. And then finally, under personal work relationship, it used to say incumbent reports directly to assistant planner. Again, because that position no longer exists, it would say the planning director.
Excellent. Any questions about the job? Any questions?
No, President York, I just want to make sure the board has the updated version. Ms. Henderson and Ms. Edwards worked on Friday afternoon to get the updated version to the board. I want to make sure you're approving the right version.
I think we do have it in our packet. Thank you, Isabel, for doing that. Any questions? Any other further questions? Okay, I'll open up for public comment. Any public comments on this item? Any public comments? Any public comments? Okay, I'll close public comments. Any further questions or do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Thank you. Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Ms. Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you for putting it together and staying on it. It's important. Our next order of business is a request for road closure for special event. The Michigan City LaPorte County Conventioner, let me start over. The Michigan City LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau is requesting the following road closures for the Great Lakes Grand Prix boat races. Road closures on 5th Street from Spring Street to Pine Street for emergency vehicle staging from August 2nd, 2025 at 5 a.m. to August 3rd, 2025 at 8 p.m. Road closures on Franklin Street from 4th Street to 9th Street and closures on 4th Street to 6th Street, 7th Street, and 9th Street from Washington Street to Pond Street for the Great Lakes Grand Prix Parade and Block Party from August 2nd, 2025 at 6 a.m. From 6 a.m. August 2nd, 2025 at 6 a.m. to August 3rd, 2025 at 6 a.m. And I do believe Mr. Miller is here with us tonight. Scott, can you come up here and tell us a little bit about the event? It's an opportunity to kind of talk a little bit about it.
Good morning. The road closure on 5th and Spring, that the emergency vehicles, those are something that we put in place last year. again, feeling lucky that we hadn't had to use something like that, but this is something for possible accident, mass casualty type situation. The road closures, the second set of road closures would be for the parade and block party. And what we're looking at is, again, the rumor mill is going pretty heavy, and we're looking at quite a few boats this year, more than what we've had in the past. And what we're looking to do is stage more boats off those side streets.
Excellent.
That way, there's plenty of room on Franklin and on those side streets for folks to interact with the racers, interact with the boat teams and stuff like that.
So when they come down and park and kind of kick them to the side and open them up, and so some of those will be on the side streets.
Right. Yeah. Once Franklin fills, we don't want to double them up because I think that's going to be too crowded. So we just kind of take them off to the side streets.
I think that'll make a better walking area. I see Terry in the back. He had some comments. Mr. Greetham, would you like to speak? And it could have been me fumbling through them times. So.
Terry Greetham, Michigan City Special Events. So after looking at this and talking with Mayor Angie and with Captain Jesse, we fully agree with the closure of Fifth Street for the emergency vehicle staging. That was added into the emergency plan last year. If we do have a large scale mass casualty incident, it's a perfect staging location, and it doesn't hinder any traffic moving down to the park. The concerns that we have are with the time frame of the closures of Franklin Street and the side streets. Based on what we did last year, so last year we had Franklin Street from 8th Street to 6th Street and 7th Street from Pine Street to Washington Street from 8 a.m. to midnight. That allows the actual block party area, the main area, to be utilized. For the boat parade, we closed Franklin Street from 10th Street to 4th Street from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's for the parade.
Okay.
It puts it an hour in advance of the parade. 10 p.m. it's over. The streets will be open once they feel like it's cleared out enough and it's safe. The addition of the side streets, I do agree with Race Director Miller that we need to utilize those side streets for the boat parade, but my recommendation would be that those side streets follow the same time frame as the parade, so from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Got it.
That way they're just closed during the parade. Now they'll just be barricaded off. No parking signs will be put up 24 hours in advance, so people will know that they can't park there.
Excellent.
And then prior to the actual closure at 5 p.m., the police department will go through and make sure, try and clear out any cars that are remaining. So the only difference with this is we're just shortening the time frame. Instead of going 6 a.m. on the 2nd to 6 a.m. on the 3rd, we're basically moving that portion 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the 2nd. That would be the recommendation of Michigan City Police Department, Mayor Angie, as well as Special Events Department.
And that works for the race. The racers already, like everyone else already knows all this.
None of this has been put out to the racers yet until we got approval. So what we'll do is we'll sit down and we'll put that all together.
Got it.
So this approval first, and then we'll communicate.
Excellent. But everybody on, I guess, the Convention Visitors Bureau knows all this and everything. We're good.
I just saw this today, and I wanted to make sure just the time frame is what we want to change. We don't, the mayor doesn't want to close down that portion of all of downtown from 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. the next day. So we can shorten those time frames and make it work.
Totally understandable. Got it. Any questions of Race Director Miller or Mr. Greetham? Any questions?
Mr. Miller, are you comfortable with this?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what the times that were set on, but yeah, I'm absolutely fine with it. The only reason that I could come up with that it was set for that was just to take some of the stress off the police department of having to move vehicles if need be. But I totally understand what Terry's saying, and then I understand what the mayor and the police department are getting at as well.
I know it takes a lot of coordination, and you guys coordinate really well with the police department. So Any other questions? Great questions. Any other questions? Mr. Simmons, good? Okay. I'll open it for public comments. Any public comments on this item? Any public comments on this item? Any public comments? All right, none online. I'll close public comments. Any further questions, or do we, you've heard some changes to this. Ms. LePage, would we need to make those changes in our motion?
Yes, I would make a motion to accept all of the changes as set forth by Mr. Greetham.
Okay.
That might be the easiest way.
Yes, I was thinking that same thing. That's, yes. Would anyone like to take a stab at making a motion? Or I can make a motion. I make a motion that we request for road closure for the Michigan City LaPorte County Convention and Visitors Bureau for the Great Lakes Grand Prix boat race and block party be approved with the times and dates as stated by Mr. Greetham. And yeah, that's my motion. With the updated dates and times as stated by Mr. Greetham. That's my motion.
Mouthful, support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Feel like we're good? All right. All right. Our next order of business is a contract. This is an agreement for professional services between the City of Michigan City and the Indiana Landmarks to provide technical and educational support for certain historic preservation activities within the city from January 1st, 2025 to December 31st, 2025 in the amount not to exceed $7,000 plus the membership in the Indiana Landmarks of $35. Anyone here to speak on this? I guess I'll speak on this. This is a contract that we do yearly with the Indiana Landmarks. They provide a nonpartisan or non what's the word I'm looking for? They provide technical assistance to the Historic Preservation Commission, and they act as a kind of nonpartisan staff that would make recommendations along with our staff. They work with our staff and they make recommendations to the board on approvals, changes to anything historic related, things of that nature. They provide technical assistance. They are a nonprofit Indiana based organization. And like I said, we've been working with them for, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years now. So that's what this is. This is just a contract to continue that professional relationship with them for those services. Any questions on this item? Ms. Moore?
Only because I'm not familiar with
Absolutely.
it in the past. I looked at what the code is that the historic district has determined, and it seems pretty extensive and laid out very well. What do they bring to
So what they do,
beyond that?
great. Yes, great question. So what they do is they provide a staff assistance basically for staff reports and recommendations to the board itself. So we have staff that help out with the board, but they're not dedicated staff to that board. That makes sense. And they provide a nonpartisan kind of recommendation, if you will. Historic Review Board is similar to BZA. It doesn't have, it is a, what do I want to say? Attorney LePage, a quasi judicial board in that you go straight to, if you appeal something, you go straight to court rather than an appeal process through like Board of Works or Plan Commission, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of an important board. We want to make sure that we have appropriate findings of facts that's presented and that the staff reports are thorough.
Thank you. And one more question. Why is it dated January 1st and this is?
Good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
So
Is it
I'll
backdated?
just give you, it is backdated. So for the last several years, it's kind of been getting to the board a little bit late. I know when the new Public Works Director came in, she took on this task so that she could outline the specific services. So I think that took a little bit of time. I know there was money put in the budget for this, and actually, I don't know, for whatever reason, the contract price dropped a little bit. Previous years, it's been $8,000, so now it's $7,000.
I do believe our public works director has been really taking a look at making it more efficient, the board itself. And I know that she's working with the board herself right now, rather than she is the staff to the board right now, or acting as that staff right now.
I guess my question was have we utilized their service up to this point this year?
Yes,
And
we have.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I'll try to answer them. Any other questions? All right, I'll open it. Hearing no questions, I'll open it for public comment. Any public comment on this item? Any public comment? Any public comments? All right, close public comments. I'll entertain any other questions, or do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you. Next order of business is a change order. The Michigan City Department of Waterworks is requesting a change order for the US 20 annexation area water extension construction bid project in the amount of $6,478.00, which increases the total amount of the project to $655,465.88. Good morning, Director Johnson. How are you doing?
Morning. I'm sorry to have to come and request this. When we began the process, we originally planned to be under US 20 to avoid paying the railroad for all eternity for crossing them. But unfortunately, they actually own that part too. So we decided to get the water main out from under the road. And we thought in doing so, we wouldn't have to do any maintenance of traffic along US 20 because the work was going to be far enough off the road. The railroad took its time getting us permit back. The state, NDOT would not provide their permit review until we've got a formal agreement with the railroad. Once we got that in place, we had already gone through the bid process. And then NDOT did require some additional maintenance of traffic. So because that was required, the contractor, of course, is requesting a change order due to the dollar amount for this. But as you see in my letter, this amount is just under 1% of the total amount of the labor costs of doing this project.
Excellent. Any questions of Superintendent Johnson about this project?
Statement. I'm just elated that it's moving. It's been a long time coming. I was 6th Ward councilman when we first agreed to this with the McDonald's, and I'm sure they're pleased as well.
Yeah. Every day I drive by, I see that pipe starting to go in the ground, and I just say, get it in there, hurry up, get this done. I just want this project done.
No, it's a good project. It's a good project. Any questions of Superintendent Johnson? Any further questions? All right, I'll open it for public comment. Any public comment on this item? Any public comment? Any public comment on this item? All right, hearing none, I'll close public comments. Entertain a motion or any other questions?
Be glad to motion to approve.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thanks for keeping on this one.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Updates.
Let's see here. We've got some updates. Building and permits. Good morning, Mr. Albers. How are you? Fantastic.
Good morning.
You can tell us some good news?
Yeah.
Good.
So, David Albers, I'm superintendent of the building permit and inspections department. I wanted to give you guys an update on Cloud Permit. This new system that we've been using for permitting and inspections. It's been going very well. We went live in March, so March 1st of this year. and have been working alongside contractors, homeowners, so on and so forth, because it is a new system. There's a little bit of a learning curve. There have been a couple of, challenges, but we've definitely made great headway through those. And the numbers really speak for themselves. So that's what I wanted to touch on. So in the past 3 months, we've issued 592 permits. And 35 of those, actually, it's been a total of about over 600. 35 are currently waiting on payment. So that's about 209 permits per month that we've been actually issued out the door. And currently, we have 51 permits that are in review and 70 new permit applications. So about 120 right now that we are in the process of reviewing, processing, going back and forth with the contractors or homeowners for additional information to obtain the proper documents, so on and so forth. That number is pretty consistent as far as what's always in the queue for the Department of Processing. But the number of actual issued permits keeps going up, obviously. So it's been pretty amazing to see. And, 200 actually getting issued a month has been, I think that number speaks for itself. As far as contractors getting registered in the system, we've had 405 contractors registered to date, which has been great. I believe last year there was about 1,000 contractors. Don't quote me on that, but we're still working on getting people online because it's going to help streamline our process. As far as revenue brought in from building permit fees, it's around $197,000, and contractor registration fees is about $35,000. Now, that doesn't speak for the department in its entirety because of some of the limitations, some of the issues that we've had with the county GIS. Some building permits had to be issued through the old system for some of the developments, the subdivisions and things like that, where the county information on parcel ID numbers was lagging behind, and we need that for cloud permit to work. So like I said, that number, that total of $232,000 is just brought in through cloud permit, doesn't speak for the department in its entirety. So yeah, that's in comparative last year, I ran a quick report from March 1st to June 2nd of last year. There's only 291 permits issued. So we've, more than doubled that by using the cloud permit system.
Wow, that's impressive. We did, if you may recall, we did, Andy Mechanic was here a couple of months ago. We did pass a contract to work directly with Beacon, Schneider Core. So that's getting fixed. I think we thought it would be a little bit sooner, but there's a few other things that have to, if we don't fix the other things, we won't get the biggest bang for the buck, is what I'm being told. We could just get the data, but there's some other things that can help us out. 5 other things, and I can't remember what they are.
Well, yeah, it'll transition into helping other departments too,
Yes.
water, sanitary, so on and so forth, by making sure that we get that data right correctly and imported into our internal GIS system.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep. Any questions?
Any questions, Mr. Albers?
I do.
Yeah.
So assuming someone fills out an application, they have all the information correct, are you able to give the public like an average turnaround time to process? Is it 3 days, 5 days? Do we have a feel for that yet?
It depends on the type of permit. For a roof siding, windows and doors, that's a couple days because there isn't that much that needs to be reviewed. Anything that involves any kind of a review from a zoning standpoint, like an addition, things of that matter, we're getting that down. It's hard to say, to give a number, because there's some permits that have been sitting out there meaning they were submitted about a month ago, but that's because we're going back and forth because we need additional information from them. But I would say it's taking about a week to 2 weeks to get it for some of those more complicated projects that need multiple reviews, not just planning and building, but then we need to coordinate with the water department, sanitary, so on and so forth.
I'm gonna add to that.
Mayor.
So there's a couple of things that we've been working on. So I've asked for them to create a checklist for some of the more easier, more standard permits for contractors to have so that we can post it on the website where there's a checklist. So there's not all this back and forth because that's really where the time is. A lot of the time is the back and forth. And some of them should be able to just, if they follow the checklist, they should be able to get their permit out within a certain period of time. The other thing that is happening, and Dave, I'll let you speak to it a little bit. I know next Monday, I'm going to have my first roundtable for contractors to come in and kind of express their concerns. We're doing that at 8:30 here in the EOC room. And we'll do a couple of those this month. But I've asked Dave to also do like open call out, open hours, office hours in the EOC room for contractors to come in. They have any questions? I'll let you speak to that because I don't know what you're gonna do.
Yeah. So it'll be Wednesdays. We'll, I believe it's 10 to noon is what we've established those hours to be, and we'll be announcing that through all the different communication tools. But it's just a way that contractors and homeowners know, okay, this is a set time a week that they can come in and bring their questions. If they're having challenges with the online system, we'll have computers for them. We can help walk them through. We currently have that right now with a kiosk right outside of the building planning department, and we go out there and we help walk them. So if someone doesn't have a computer, we can help them with that. But we're trying to take it up, level up to the next step of even saying, okay, know that on a weekly basis you can come in here on every Wednesday and we can work through any challenges that you might be having. Otherwise, we're spending 30, 60 minutes on the phone with a few people that had to, they are having a hard time understanding getting through the process. So it's just a way to kind of open the doors, come on in, we can help you out. But like I said, the numbers definitely speak for themselves as far as the fact that the system is working and it's working well.
Yeah. I would just add that having been a reviewer on the other side, for the general public's knowledge, the better information you can put in there, the quicker you can get your permit. I would just say that, from a 2 or 3 days to 15 minutes, if you've got all the information in there that we can see as the reviewer,
right?
A good site plan, good measurements, what exactly are you doing and asking for? The more thorough you can be, the quicker the permit probably could get issued.
Right. Well, we get about a dozen or two new applications per day.
Yes.
So that all just goes into the queue. Everyone is helped in the order of which it was received.
Yeah, absolutely. Any further questions of Mr. Albers?
Sounds like efficiency working.
Absolutely.
That's most.
Absolutely. Haven't been a user. I know that if all the information's there, I can crank out some permits pretty quickly. So I can tell you that. Okay. Our next update is special events. Mr. Williams. Good morning.
Good morning, Board. Eric Williams, Michigan City Special Events. Terry and I are getting ready for a rough stretch in which we will be involved with 5 major events in about 15 days in the month of June. That's going to start on June 19th with the Michigan City Juneteenth celebration. That's going to be held at the Guy Foreman Amphitheater in Washington Park. It's going to be from 12 o'clock noon until 10 o'clock. This event's going to feature kid activities, including a video game truck and laser tag from 12 to 3. Food vendors and artisan market, community resource information, raffles, giveaways, and live entertainment featuring a stage play called Pipelines, performed by the Dunes Arts Foundation, stand-up comedian BLT, a Michael Jackson impersonator, Ed Hollis, and will be headlined by the Reggie Foster Experience. There is no admission cost to that. It is a free community event. June 21st, we will head over to the Kitty Parade. That is going to be on Franklin Street from 9th Street to 4th Street at 11 o'clock. All participants will receive a ribbon, snack, and a juice, and awards will follow the parade. Registration is still open. You can register on emichigancity.com or the Michigan City Special Events Facebook page for more information on that. June 28th, we will have the Patriotic Parade at 11 o'clock. Staging will begin at 9 a.m. on Pine Street, and we will go the traditional route from 10th Street to Ames Field.
We are anticipating over 100 units for that. Registration is still open. Again, emichigancity.com or the Michigan City Special Events Facebook page. We are looking for volunteers. With that one, we're going to cover well over a mile of city blocks. So we're going to be pretty stretched out. So we could use some help with that. Volunteers can also register at emichigancity.com. And an exciting change this year, we are going to have food trucks serving food at Ames Field. We're going to have the Michigan City Athletic Department also selling hot dogs and popcorn. And our grand marshal this year will be 2024 second round NFL draft pick and Michigan City native Braden Fisk. Following the parade, that is the fun change for us this year, will be the Braden Fisk Family Fun Day at Ames Field. This event is Braden's idea. He reached out to Terry and I for assistance, and we were, of course, very willing to help. That's June 28th, 1 to 4:30 at Ames Field. We'll feature food trucks, inflatables, a dunk tank, free youth haircuts, raffles, sports drills, and activities on the field by the Michigan City Area School athletes and coaches, and more. There'll also be a school supply and free food giveaway, and that is going to be for Michigan City students who present a student ID. And then from there, we go to July 4th with the fireworks celebration at Washington Park. That's going to start at dusk. And then just a quick thank you to all of the supporting departments and boards who help make these things possible.
Any questions of Mr. Williams? Thank you for all the hard work.
Yeah,
Mr. Greetham too.
Awesome. Thank you.
We have one more update. That's our Parks Department. Ms. Eason, are you here?
Good morning, Shannon Eason, superintendent this time. So I'm just going to quickly go through the lineup of events that the Parks Department is planning. Starting tonight in Washington Park, we are doing Monday night food trucks. They come in at 10 o'clock. Tonight is Big Mike's, and he also has breakfast. So if you have an opportunity, step down. Tomorrow night starts our party on the plaza. That's a music/movie event. So it changes every Tuesday. And tomorrow nights will be at North Point Pavilion. And then we also have events on the 17th and the 24th, also at North Point Pavilion. Our band concerts start this Thursday. They're at 7:30 in the evening. If you do not have a parking sticker, we do offer discounted parking from 7 p.m. on. So that's $4 to attend the concert. Bike the City will be Friday, July 6th. That's with Assistant Superintendent Walker and the police department. So that's a great way to get out and ride around the city. And there's a different route each time. Live at the Lakefront concert series has started. So concerts down in Millennium Plaza every Friday and Saturday night. EVP beach volleyball is in full swing. So there's tournaments all weekend, all summer long. Our next bucket golf tour is Wednesday, June 11th at Water Tower Park from 3:30 to 6:30. We have a paint and pour at Memorial Hall on Thursday, June 12th. Pride Fest was already mentioned, I believe. That's Saturday, the 14th at the amphitheater. Zoo Night Safari will be Saturday, the 14th from 5 to 8:30 at the Washington Park Zoo. And then on Father's Day, we have free admission for fathers with a paid admission at the zoo. And that pretty much wraps up June so far.
Any questions from the board? Okay. Thank you for the updates from all of our departments. We really appreciate it. Thanks for all the hard work. Next order of business is the payroll claims docket for May 30th, 2025. Everyone had time to look at that? Motion?
Motion to approve.
Support.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Miss Smith?
Aye.
Miss Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Next order of business is claims docket for June 2nd, 2025. Everyone had time to look at that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons?
Aye.
Miss Smith?
Aye.
Miss Moore?
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. All right, on to our unfinished business. This is our next docket this is our unfinished business. And first thing on this is the CSX repairs update. Updates on the repairs of CSX Woodland Ave and Buffalo Street crossings. This is tabled from August 19th, 2024. Anything on that? Engineer Warner, anything on that one? I think we're still in the holding pattern until they get a hold of us, I believe.
I've talked to Jeff Reeder with Safety Services. Again, he's the one I read the email from last meeting. He hasn't heard anything back from CSX on confirmation of their schedule. I sent an email to Brad Armstrong of CSX, got his contact information from NDOT last week. I've not heard back from Brad yet, but I sent him the pictures of the Woodland crossing, how terrible the wood ties there are, and I sent him the pictures of Buffalo showing that the crossing was repaired last fall, but then the rail crew came through and took the siding out and left the rubber siding pieces laying on the side. So they're aware of the situation. I'm just not sure of the schedule yet. So hopefully I'll have a better idea of schedule and what they're going to do for traffic control on Woodland and that at the next meeting.
All right. Anything? I'm just going to run through these real quick because I think this first four are yours. Request for road repair. Councilman Don Prespolinski is requesting a road repair at 124 Wilshire Ave. Anything on that one?
That's been completed by Sean's crews. That's done.
So can we take that off of our list?
Yep.
Absolutely. Can we make a motion to take that off of our list?
Motion to take off the list.
Second.
Call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore. Chair votes aye as well. So that's awesome. Love taking things off the list. Request for our next one. I don't know if this is a request for signage. This was a request for signage, but this was more of a parking issue, trash issue. Fringe and Ink at 2703 Franklin Street is requesting to put up no parking signs and pavement stripings on the south side of their building on Harrison Street. And I know you went out with Mr. Smith and looked at that.
Yeah, Sean and I looked at this at the north side of the building and not the south. But I spoke with the owner of Fringe and Ink, and what basically we're going to do, Sean's going to have his crews do a radius return out of the alley with diagonal yellow striping. And that's an area where the garbage cans can be placed, where they're not going to be hit. And then from that point back to the east towards Franklin, the way the original striping was, I think it was set before they put the sidewalk in so you could pull all the way up to the building. So there's parallel spaces. Well, now with that sidewalk on the north side of the building, there's not enough room. So we're going to do parallel parking spaces along that side of the street from the alley to Franklin. I think we get 4, maybe 5 spaces. Sean's got the layout. We can do 18-foot spaces. There's a utility pole kind of in the middle of that area.
Okay.
So he's going to work it out so that the line is kind of away from that utility pole, and then we can probably get 2 more towards Franklin. So we'll be able to get 4 or 5 spaces along that side. And then cars aren't sticking out into Harrison in those parallel spaces now.
That makes sense. And we can do what we've done this before on Nevada Street. So we have the capability of doing all this in-house.
Yep. Strong is very, very secure in knowing that his guys will be able to get that done. I'm not sure of the date yet, but as soon as we get some good dry, warm weather, maybe this week, he'll get going on that.
Excellent. Would you like to speak? Come on. Yeah.
I just wanted to say thank you for getting this taken care of quickly and effectively, because that doesn't always happen. So thank you. I appreciate it. And when it's done, come by and see it. It'll look nice.
We appreciate you keeping your business here and doing business in Michigan City. So
I would recommend taking that off. We'll have that done.
Motion to remove.
Second.
Call for the vote, Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you for doing that. Our next order is a request for a stop sign. Colin Kahn at 716 York Street is requesting a stop sign at the cross button or a cross button on the corner of Oak Street and Belden Street to allow children and pedestrians to cross safely. This was tabled from April 21st, 2025. And I know there was a lot of back and forth, but it seems like we had a solution.
Yeah, we by Queen of All Saints School on Barker, they had installed a sign when they did the crossing there that has, children present, stop for all pedestrians, and it's bright yellow sign. I don't remember the size of it, but they only had it on the eastbound side, but not the westbound approach. So Sean was going to get a replacement for that on the westbound. So both approaches to that crosswalk, there'll be the signage. We're going to do the same signage at both sides of the crossing at Belden and Oak by the little playground there by the school. So we'll have that crossing covered as well. It doesn't warrant a stop sign because there's already a stop on the approach to the T intersection, but these signs will make it clear on both these crosswalks that there's children present and you need to stop.
Yeah.
So that's going to be done. I think he's got the signs made already or ordered, but I don't think they're up yet. I haven't talked to him yet today, but
I don't think I've seen them up over
but
there.
we'll get it. I think he'll get it this week, the way it sounds.
Okay.
So that can be removed as well.
Would you guys like to remove this, or do you want to stay till completion?
Well, I just had a comment. I would hope that the police department would pay close attention to this location. It's a new playground and it's full of kids, even after school. After school, more so probably.
Oh yeah. It is. I can speak to that. It was this weekend. It was packed. Well, it's been packed. Kathy's gone, but she lives across the street. It's packed. It's just a very popular playground. And good. I haven't seen a lot of kids, but when they changed the playground, it's very popular now. Can we keep this on there until we get it done, just so we can make sure we get it done? Okay. So we'll have a report back. So can we table this? I'll make a motion. Do I need to make a motion to keep this tabled till our next meeting?
I think you should do that and CSX.
Oh, okay.
You never made a motion on that.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Let's make a motion. I'll make a motion that we keep 716, the request for crossing at Oak Street and Belden on our agenda, on our unfinished business items until our next meeting in June.
And CSX.
I'll make that motion next.
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
And Chair votes aye as well. I'll also make a motion that we keep CSX repairs update. That would be the updates on the repairs at Woodland Ave and Buffalo Street crossing. Engineer Warner, would July be appropriate or further?
I hope July is appropriate. So yes.
So let's say we'll keep it on to our first board meeting in July.
I will be on them to try to get a response back by the July meeting. Yes.
Okay, excellent. Is there a second?
Second.
I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. I think you're done.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Okay. Our next order of business is a mobile food vendor location change. Mo's Fresh Mediterranean mobile food truck is requesting to change the location of his mobile food truck to the corner of Franklin and Water Street, or from the corner of Franklin and Water Street. I believe it was to change it to. Second. Where is it? I believe we were going to, was it 703 Michigan Boulevard?
707.
707. Oh, so
Oh. So the letter says 70.
It's 703 East Michigan Boulevard. So in regards to Mr. Moreau's Fresh Mediterranean.
tell us who you are.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dr. Edwards, Planning Director. Yes, so Ms. Moreau, requested to establish his mobile food truck at two different parcels. There was one parcel that was adjacent to Mady's, and then his additional parcel was located at 703 East Michigan Boulevard. The planning and the code enforcement departments determined that these locations were not feasible for operation. The parcel that is by Mady's, it was determined that did not meet our general location requirements based on what is established in the code. Another parcel that was located at the 703 East Michigan Boulevard site, well, it was suggested to Mr. Moreau, and that was by Mr. Moreau, excuse me, and it was determined that that site was not feasible as well. The planning department listed the following conditions, such as some zoning challenges. The site is also unpaved, and it poses a few different risks, not only to the property itself, but also to Mr. Moreau's food truck. And then the site does not have clear access to entry and exit ways for the food truck to pull up and off of site, especially in case of any type of emergencies or things that might also pose challenges, not only to the business owner, but also to the public. Under these conditions, the planning department does not recommend approval of operation on this additional site as well. And so as a caveat, myself and Director York spoke to Mr. Moreau on Thursday, May 29th, and we discussed these conditions with him, to which he understood and agreed. And so it was that he was not able to operate on these sites. So we actually offered Mr. Moreau some additional opportunities to connect with the Parks Department in regards to their food trucks in the Parks program as a potential option to operate. And as of Thursday, Mr. Moreau was deferred to connect with the Parks superintendents to coordinate further.
Thank you. Ms. Murray, would you like to speak?
The last time I was here, we were talking about only the location that's at Cosmades. That's the one that I applied for originally. I think the landlord was here and she kind of suggested that other location. I wasn't, we didn't discuss that location, so I'm here talking about that location. So I did receive the phone call from you guys, and I just want to say something real quick. I think it's time for a fresh conversation about food trucks in Michigan City. Unfortunately, we are being told today that we are being denied, not because of health or safety concern or expired insurance certificates, because we're 290 feet away from another restaurant. City ordinance requires 300 feet, even though we were approved last year for a different location. Just 10 feet short, and with it, a missed opportunity for our food truck, for visitors, and the city. This isn't just about our food truck. I speak on behalf of my industry. It's about revisiting an outdated ordinance that's limiting what small local food businesses can offer during the city's busiest season. Cities like LaPorte, New Buffalo, Porter County, Lake County welcome food trucks and benefit from them. We've been here before. Years ago, when I opened Sahara, outdoor dining was not allowed in Michigan City. We applied. The city had to take a look at how other communities handled it, and together we made it happen. Now, outdoor seating is everywhere, and the city is better for it. We believe that food truck can offer the same kind of value. We pay taxes, we carry insurance all year round, we hire local staff, we follow all health and safety regulation, we attract foot traffic that supports other local businesses. Michigan City is a seasonal town from Memorial to Labor Day. We all try to make the most of it. Visitors are here, events are happening, and we have a short window to create real energy and economic impact. We're simply asking the city to consider a fresh conversation, one that reflects where Michigan City is today and what it could become if we work together. When I was sitting here today, there's a lot of requests for food trucks, for events, which is good, and just wanted to say that, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Murray. Any other comments? Okay. I got a board comment, Ms. Smith. Oh, come on, Tommy.
Hey, this is Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio. I hope someday Mr. Moe can find a suitable place for his food truck and profit and thrive. I know in Chicago, when I go to Chicago a lot now, I said that what they do in Chicago is, they'll have an indoor place where you can eat, but the food truck is actually the kitchen. And I think it's a really good business model. They have what you do is you go in there, they either have an indoor area or an outdoor area. I like eating indoors, but there's like a little placard at your table. You scan with your phone, you order right off your phone, and you can pay with your phone. They don't like you have any wait staff. And they bring the food in, or you can order at the food truck, and they'll bring the food to you right at your table and just bust your own table. And I think that's a really great business model that they have. But I just think you really should maybe consider going to the council and having this 300 feet ordinance lifted. And also have allowed for they can leave the food truck there if they want to. I think that leads to a lot of the health code and a lot of the fire issues. I like, Mr. Braille and Mr. Jesus with the tacos, my friend. I'd rather have them, clean the food truck at the end of the business. They have to haul it off and then bring it back every day. So that's just my ideas, but I hope everything works out for them. Maybe find, like I said, find a location on the west side. We can have people can have a place to go eat over there. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you. Mayor.
Yeah, and let me add, and I've known Mo for years and friends with Mo. And I think that, for me, I think we have some things that we do need to change. I've tasked the special events team to identify some places where we can have more permanent food trucks, weekly food trucks. Every city that I have visited over the last several years, they have food truck parks. They have seating that is set aside between the food trucks, lighting, all of that. Every single trip that I've made, I take pictures of it. And I think for a community like ours, this would be a benefit. We just need to identify what that looks like and maybe give some options to the council to do some research. They can do some research. I always did my own research. They could do some research on what other cities are doing here locally so that we can figure out an easier way to move forward with food trucks. And make sure too that we have a variety. Because again, if I'm looking for a certain type of food and I'm across from a different type of food, does it really matter? They're either going to come find that food truck regardless because it's a specialty. And I think we have created a broad stroke for food trucks. So the more we look at it, I think the better we'll be as a city. And I do like Tommy's his idea of having some things in other parts of town as well. So opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Smith, would you like to make your comments? You good? All right. Mr. Simmons, you have any comments?
Yes, and I have a perfect location, 7th and Franklin. We have that area there is just every time you go by, it's vacant. The old 7th, is it 7th and Franklin? Yeah, 7th and
Yeah, actually, yeah. Yeah.
But I would also like to address this ordinance. Our job is to enforce the ordinance. We're not here to negotiate the ordinance. If you want the ordinance changed, then let's all wish you well and go to the council and have them change it. There's always room for change, but the Board of Works, we're not here to negotiate. So I got the feeling the last meeting that I took exception to some comments that was made publicly, and I don't think that's appropriate.
I would agree. We are here to enforce the ordinance. That's really where we're bound to. We can't grant variances or nothing like that. That's not our job or not our board capacity. So, I'll let you speak one more time. Yeah.
This is exactly what I just said today. I wasn't, I was suggesting that we have a conversation about it and we changed, but it wasn't.
No, that wasn't directed at you.
No, that was not directed at you. Mo, your comments were spot on. You was not directed at you. Any other questions or comments from the board on this particular item? Okay. I'm going to we need to make a motion.
Motion to deny.
Motion, I'll second. I'll call for the vote. Mr. Simmons.
Aye.
Ms. Smith.
Aye.
Ms. Moore.
Aye.
Chair votes aye as well. Thank you. Next order of business is public comments. Are there any public comments?
Tommy Kolovic, 1316 Ohio Street. First, I really enjoyed attending the ribbon cutting at the Water Tower Park. Now they gave a great taekwondo demonstration. Now they had Ken Young, who's from, he was actually Neil Singleton's son. He from, he's in the Chiefs, Neil Singleton was a world champion kickboxer. I'd like to make a request to Mayor Angie and the board. I'd like to have his family's been wanting an honorary street sign memorializing Neil for years, and I think this is overdue that we do that. I know it's want to congratulate all the class of 2025 from Michigan City Marquette High School and Michigan City High School. This is going to be, I think the graduation day is Sunday. I want to congratulate all our alumni students from Marquette and Michigan City High School that just recently graduated from college last month. Like my niece Alexa, she finally received her master's degree in sociology from Indiana University, and Mayor Angie's daughter Sydney Stark, she just finally received her master's degree in public affairs from IU. Great college, Indiana University, where we send all of our students. I think Drew White from Access LaPorte County would agree. I know it's that time of year again. I always make this announcement. This is section 54-231, regulation of fireworks under A subsection 2. These are the times that the fireworks can be discharged within the city limits. Fireworks display is set forth by state law, including the hours of 5 p.m. and 2 hours after sunset from July 29th to July 3rd, and on the 4th of July from 10 a.m. to midnight, and on New Year's Eve from 10 a.m. to 1 a.m. on January 1st. I think during those 9 nights, I'll be staying at my mother's place out in the country. They set them off down there, but it's not nearly as intense here in Michigan City. One final thing, I know you're not the school board. There's something serious going on at the school system. Little Wolves Early Learning Center, open house for prospective families and enrollment support. Wednesday, June 11th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. They got a nice little flyer here they put out. There's my little niece, little Nyari Simmons there on the front. It says, it's 1001 US Highway 20, Woodland and US 20. Their phone number is 219-873-20235. Tour the facility, meet our caring teachers and staff, learn about our play-based philosophy. Full and half-day options available. CCP, one-way pre-K vouchers accepted. I said, enroll your children for fall of 25. They be for the 3 and the 4-year-olds. They got to be potty trained. It's educatemc.net, Little Wolves. I think that's one of the best things we did. Now, I guarantee that I know that this was proven. We had the old early learning center at the Eastport School where the police station is now. Those students that cycled through, they're all going to finish with when they graduate, they'll have a higher grade point average than all the others that haven't. And this isn't just for the Michigan City. This is, you can be anywhere. So I thank you for saying that, and goodbye.
Any other public comments? Hey, Mayor.
Hello, good morning again. Just to repeat, again, for the contractors, starting next Monday, I'll have a roundtable discussion here at the EOC from 8:30 to 10. And I believe next Wednesday, starting from 10 to noon, we're going to have the building department, inspection department down in the area for anyone who has questions or needs assistance at that time.
Is that for any contractors? Just be specific. Okay.
Yep, any. And last but not least, I know they've been patient, but I would like to
Absolutely.
have all of our interns stand up. These are our summer interns for this year that will be working in several different departments throughout Michigan City. I figured this would be a good opportunity for them to hear how the city runs. They heard a little bit of everything from the fire department, police department, street department, park department, you name it. So they're going to be here. We have 13 students this year that will be at multiple departments. So you'll see them throughout the city working on different projects. So from schools from all over as well. So.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
We're excited to have them. Any other public comments? Okay, I'll close public comments. Any board comments tonight?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Excellent. We'll leave it at that. We'll be adjourned.